Hello everybody. So today in this class let us discuss about types of intervals. So let us consider two real numbers small a comma b belongs to R, okay, such that a is less than or equals to b. Then closed interval we can write it as x belongs to, using the square brackets we write in this manner, and we need to read it as a x belongs to closed interval a comma b, and is defined as x is the set of all real numbers which are lies between small a and small b, including both a and b. That is, the set of all real numbers in between a comma b, including both a comma b. Hence, we can write x belongs to closed interval a comma b as a less than or equals to x less than or equals to b. The meaning is x is the value which lies between a and b, including both a and b. So a and b also must include. Now let us see this concept, how to represent on a number line. Okay, so the number line starts from minus infinity to plus infinity is a real number line. Since we consider no a comma b are any two real numbers, now let us plot a and b. Smallest one is a, that's why first we need to write it, and second one is the b. Now clearly the shaded region, see the lines which I shaded here with blue color, it indicates the set of all values, all real numbers which are lies in between a comma b. And if you observe that exactly at a and at b, I made a circle, dotted circle, shaded one, isn't it? The meaning is we need to include that particular points also. Hence, clearly from that number line, we can understand about closed interval a comma b is the set of all values which are lies between a comma b, including a and b. Okay, now let us move into the open interval. See, once again, let us consider a comma b be any two real numbers. Okay, ma, such that a is always less than b. Hence, open interval a comma b we represent with the open brackets as I shown you in this video. So the meaning of open interval a comma b is set of all real numbers which lie between a and b, but not including both a and b. See, earlier along with the numbers in between a comma b, we included even a and b also. Hence, that is considered as a closed interval a comma b. Now, just if you observe here, what is the difference here? Here also we are including the numbers which lies between a comma b, but coming to a and b are not including. That's why x belongs to open interval a comma b we can define as a less than x less than b. Hence x is the value which lies between a comma b. So let us see the representation of this open interval on the number line. So as usual, a comma b, let us note down on a number line. Since a is the smallest one, it must be the first number followed by the next number which is b. Now the shaded region you see exactly, which gives you the information that set of all values which lies between a comma b. But exactly at a and b, you see there is a circle, open circle, which I did not shaded. This means, those points we should not include. See, a is a not shaded one, even b is also not shaded. Earlier in the closed interval, we shaded even at A, at B also. They are the shaded circles. Hence, those points must include. But here, these we are not shaded. Hence, we should not include A and B here. So, therefore, finally, open interval A comma B is nothing but set of all values which lies between A and B, whereas A comma B are not included. Hence, one way this is also considered as exclusive interval. Okay, got an idea about open interval and closed interval. Closed interval in the sense we need to include those particular points also. Those are extreme values. We call them here A comma B are the boundaries, no? So they are the extreme values. In case of close, we will include them. In case of open interval, we will exclude them. Okay. So what next after open interval? Now here are some more types of interval. This is about semi-open and semi-closed interval. Semi-open and semi-closed interval. So first one, look at me. How to read that? Look at this. How to read that? Open A comma B closed. You need to read it as a open A comma B closed interval. This is one way we can also called left open and right closed interval. Left open, right closed interval. So as usual, no, if it is open, we should not include that particular value. If it is closed, we must include that value. Hence, if x belongs to open A comma B closed, that means no doubt x is the value which lies between A and B. Hence I can write it actually A less than x less than B. Okay, ma. Whereas here B is included one, no, closed B. Hence we need to include B also. Therefore, x belongs to open interval A comma B closed is defined as A less than x less than or equals to B. Now look at the second one. See, this time this is left closed and right open interval. Closed A comma B open. Have to read it as closed A comma B open. So which is also considered as left closed and right open interval. If x belongs to closed A comma B open, hence you see, since because at A it is closed interval, we need to include A but not B. That's why I just mentioned here x less than B, whereas A less than or equals to. So since A must be included. So finally A less than or equals to x less than B. So these two are considered as semi-open, semi-closed. Maybe left open, right closed, if not left closed and right open intervals. And there are some more types of intervals here. Okay, so look at all these are comes under actually semi-open, semi-closed interval only. Now first one you look at x belongs to closed A comma infinity. Students, you must remember that infinity and minus infinity, these are the unknown values. So we cannot include them. That's why whenever we write minus infinity, whenever we write plus infinity, we must write only open bracket. We cannot include them since they are the unknown values. Okay, so look at me ma, here the first interval is, if suppose x belongs to closed interval a comma infinity open, the meaning is here x must be greater than or equals to a. Hence, all the values which are greater than or equals to a can be treated as x. Similarly, look at the second one. X belongs to open interval a comma infinity. See here open interval. So nothing we can include them. That's why we can mention that as x greater than a. Just greater than a. Since a is also included open interval, no? So that's why we should not include a. Just simply we can write x greater than a. Okay. Third one, x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma a closed. That means from minus infinity to small a. I mean all the values which are less than a included a. Hence I can mention here x less than or equals to small a. Right? Now fourth one, x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma a. So here clearly a is not included, no? So just simply we can mention that x less than a. Okay ma? Got an idea? Next. See here, while solving of quadratic inequalities, I mean here the concept is exactly about sign of the quadratic expression. So you know entire quadratic expression can be written as product of two factors, linear factors. I mean if suppose the quadratic expression is ax square plus bx plus c, that we can equate it to a into x minus a into, I mean x minus alpha into x minus beta, if alpha comma beta are the roots, right? So since we need to study about the sign of the quadratic expression, I mean the entire expression where it is greater than 0, I mean where it is positive, and entire that expression less than 0, I mean where it is negative. So you know here you look at me, first point, right now please try to remember these inequalities as a standard results. So first point, so generally ma, whenever a quadratic expression is given to you, we can factorize it into the form of x minus a into x minus b. Now if you want to know that where it is negative, we need to equate it, I mean we need to mention that less than 0. If you want to know about where it is positive, we have to write it as a greater than 0. Right? So now first one, what is the first inequality? If x minus a into x minus b less than 0, the meaning is x lies between a comma b. I think that we can also write it as x belongs to open interval a comma b. Very, very important first one. Okay. If suppose the same inequality less than or equals to 0, this time if x minus a into x minus b less than or equals to 0. Hence how can we say the same as above, but the thing is here less than or equals to. Hence we need to include both a comma b also. We need to include both a comma b. That implies x belongs to closed interval a comma b. Okay ma. Next, third one, if x minus a into x minus b greater than 0, hence x is less than a, or x is greater than b. So because of less than a, we can also write it as x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma a union open interval b to infinity, isn't it? Less than a, that's what minus infinity to a, and more than b, so b to some infinity. Next, the same inequality above, this time we are taking along with is equals to. So if x minus a into x minus b greater than or equals to 0, hence we can say the same as above, but since because of equal to, here also we will include a and b. Hence x is less than or equals to a, or x greater than or equals to b. So if x belongs to, the same thing we can write it as x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma a closed union b comma infinity, especially first and third one. If x minus a into x minus b less than 0, hence the solution is what? X lies between a comma b. That's what we can also write it as x belongs to open interval a comma b. And third one, you see, x minus a into x minus b greater than 0. Hence we can write it as x less than a or x less than greater than b. And second one and fourth one nothing but equals to. Hence we will include those boundaries also. Okay. Now let us discuss about the sign of the quadratic expression. So for example, question number 1. State the sign of the expression x square minus 5x plus 4. See, it's an algebraic expression. We are not equated to 0. So if you equate it for 0, then it is considered as equation. Right now it is an expression. So regarding to study the sign of the quadratic expression, it involves only 2 steps. Step 1, factorize the given expression and find out the roots. Step 2, apply the sign scheme and decide where it is positive and where it is negative. So for example, here the expression is x square minus 5x plus 4. So first of all, equate it for 0. So you can find the roots using factorization method. If not, using the formula minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. So within these two methods right now, you can find out the roots. Okay, for example, here the roots are 1 and 4. Okay, ma. Now let us see the sign scheme which help us to know the sign of the given expression. So nothing but taking the help of real number line, ma. So which is from minus infinity to plus infinity, and within the roots 1 comma 4. What is the smallest one? 1. So write first of all 1 and then next number, that is 4. So from the right side, that is from plus infinity, you can mark as positive, negative, positive. Okay, alternatively you need to write positive, negative, positive. If you want, you can check it from, see, for example, here negative in between 1 comma 4. In between 1 comma 4, clearly it shows us negative. If you want, you can choose one number and substitute. For example, 2 is the number which lies between 1 comma 4. Let us substitute x is equals to 2 in the given expression. Hence what happens, x square is nothing but 4 and minus 5 into 2, I mean minus 10. So first one 4, last one is also 4, 4 plus 4 8, minus 10 which is minus 2. So obviously negative. Okay, ma. So like this you can check with any other number also. You can go with 2, you can go with 3, or you can go with 1 point, but not 1 and but not 4. Okay. Okay, in between 1 comma 4, any value you can check it. Hence the given quadratic expression is negative. So now clearly you see, so the expression x square minus 5x plus 4 is positive. See, first part as well as third part. First part is what? From minus infinity to 1. That's what I can write it as. It is positive when x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma 1 union 4 comma infinity. Okay. Next, the same thing we can also write it as x less than 1 or x greater than 4 also. And similarly, the given expression is negative. See, in the middle, no, in between 1 comma 4. So that's what I can write it as x belongs to open interval 1 comma 4. X belongs to 1 comma 4 open interval, if not 1 less than x less than 4. Okay. Let us see one more question. See, let us discuss the sign of the expression x square minus 5x plus 6. So first of all, equate it for 0 and solve for the roots. Hence here the roots are 2 comma 3, and within these two, smallest one is the 2. And see, from the real number line from minus infinity to plus infinity, locate in numbers must be located in ascending order, increasing order. So small to big. So first one 2 followed by 3. As usual, from right side we need to write the gaps are positive followed by negative and positive in that manner. Now once again, see, in between 2 comma 3 clearly the expression is negative, whereas from the first part and the last part it shows that it is positive. Hence the given expression is positive, I mean x square minus 5x plus 6 greater than 0, which indicates positive when x belongs to open interval minus infinity comma 2 union open interval 3 comma infinity. If not, the same thing we can also write it as when x less than 2 and when x greater than 3. Also the given expression is negative when x belongs to open interval 2 comma 3, that is 2 less than x less than 3. Okay, in this way we can discuss the sign of any quadratic expression. It involves only two steps. Step 1, find the roots. Step 2, apply the sign scheme. So clearly in between the roots, which is negative, and first part and last part, which is positive. So we can discuss few more problems in the next video. Thank you everybody.